Welcome to the Beatitudes Sisters. My name is Sandy Joseph. I have the honor and the privilege to be your host for this podcast, video channel, YouTube channel. The Beatitudes Sisters, what is that? So we find the word the Beatitudes in Matthew 5 from the Sermon of the Mount that Jesus preached. And our verse is mainly based on Matthew 5, verse 6. It says, "Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be satisfied." So, why do we exist? We exist to encourage and empower women to seek God through His Word. For me personally, the I guess you said the Beatitude Ministry or the Beatitude Sisters. The Lord actually gave me this revelation of this vision when I was 19 years old, when I had just gotten saved at 17. And that was my first time being part of a church, being part of a community. And there was a young women's ministry that impacted my life tremendously. And through that ministry, I had this vision of having other women coming together to pour into the life of younger women. I was simply 19. I was a new convert. I didn't know much, but I remember vividly the Lord giving me this vision of women coming together to seek God, to trust God in the midst of everything that they're going through. And fast forward, I am 33, right? I had completely forgot about that ministry. And in 2018, after I gave birth to my daughter, the Lord again gave me this vision of starting a YouTube channel, which I did start, but I didn't continue because I felt like I was mostly focusing on venting and just speaking out of frustration with the church, with just the reality of how we as believers not living out the word. And I just felt like I wasn't mature enough in my faith, even in 2018. I felt like there was so much I was carrying, so much I was going through, and I was trying to navigate how to handle that spiritually. So I felt like I wasn't ready. But the Lord consistently kept giving me this vision of sitting behind a camera and just speaking about His words and having other people, interviewing other people and encouraging them and helping them and guiding them through the word. And I was just like, Lord, I am not a theologian. So I was very afraid. I was afraid to sit in front of camera. I was afraid to say something that I have not experienced myself. I was afraid of saying the wrong things. And over the years, the Lord just kept giving me the vision, and I've actually recorded numerous times prior to this one. I've deleted many of my recordings, and I kept having names, changing the names. At one point, I believe I was calling it But God, but I kept changing the name of the video or the podcast name. And fast forward to, I think, end of last year, the Lord gave me the same vision that I had when I was 19 years old. And He reminded me again of the Beatitudes Sisters. And I remember I was sitting there and I was just like, oh my goodness, how did I forget? How did I forget about this vision? How did I forget about this name? And I was just like, okay, the Beatitudes Sisters, but I wanted to condense it. I wanted to find one specific verse that speak on exactly what the Lord is calling me to communicate, or how the Lord wants to use this platform for His kingdom. And that's when the Lord placed in Matthew 5, verse 6, which says, "Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. They shall be satisfied." And that is so true. That is everything that I desire, that the Spirit of God has really impacted me to grow and hunger for God's righteousness. The more I read scripture, the more I understand, when you have committed your life to the Lord, when you have repented and understand what the gospel has done for your life, the spirit that the Lord has placed in you should empower you, should drive you to be hungry and thirsty for his righteousness, because those are the ways we will truly live out the gospel. That is the way that we will truly learn to forgive and to love one another. That's the way that we can truly see God in the midst of everything. And as I process and been praying and really asking God for guidance, I've just been terrified. Just been terrified. I'm just even sitting here. I'm just like, Lord, may you use my mouth to speak your truth. May you heal someone that needs healing. So as we embark in this journey, I want to invite you to join me as I continue seeking God through his word, as I die to my flesh daily, as I seek the Lord, righteousness, to live it out, not simply know it, but to live it out. I want to invite you to join me as well in this journey. And I'm excited to see how the Lord going to use this platform to advance his kingdom, to make his name known to all generation. I am praying that the Lord will restore the heart of those that have been broken. I am praying that the Lord will restore families. I am praying that he will bring healing, right, in the midst of diversity, in the midst of chaos, that they will find healing and peace. So I want to invite you to join me. May the name of the Lord be glorified, and may you be empowered. And if there's anything that you find that was healing to you, may you give God all the glory and all the praise. May you know that he is speaking through me and through whomever that I will have the privilege to interview, to bring forth a word for you, for your future, for the life that he created you to have. Be encouraged. May we be sisters that are hungry and thirsty for God and for the advancements of his kingdom. All right, now bye. I'll see you next time.